Anime can be found on a variety of streaming services. The main services hosting anime are Crunchyroll and Funimation. However, in recent years, big corporations have realized how much of a market there is for anime, and that they want to tap into these profits. Larger streaming services are using what knowledge they have to buy up licensing rights to popular franchises of manga. One of these massive corporations is Netflix. Netflix and all of its subsidiaries want to just cash in on this cash cow. They started to get involved with dozens of anime and to make them not only exclusives but region locked at the same time. Netflix basically stated, we're not going to release the show until we feel like it's going to hit peak popularity. Compared to living in Japan, which get the series week to week during the season that it's airing. However, living in America, it's completely frustrating when you really want to watch the show and Netflix is just holding it hostage. Like, it's like holding up a freaking piece of candy that your parents are like, oh, do you really want this? You want this? And then I'm just like, oh no, I'm going to give this to you when you're absolutely begging me to have it. That's completely absurd to me and shocks me every time I see that stupid exclusive on Netflix. I understand that Netflix wants to make the market more and more interested before it eventually releases the show. However, I feel as if fans are going to get more upset with Netflix over this. Some people would argue Netflix has some really, really good shows. Like, I'm totally worth waiting for them. However, I don't think this is the case. I feel like they just have the shows already there and just why not release them? But on top of that, Netflix has some really, really bad shows. Now, I'm not talking about, obviously, the good shows like Devilman Crybaby, which is an amazing show, and you guys should definitely check it out if you haven't already, because I think it won Anime of the Year one year. Cannot remember, but I think it did. And it definitely shocked everybody. And then another really good show that they released was the Castlevania franchise. They did a couple seasons of that. And just recently, they released The Great Pretender, which honestly is incredibly amazing. And I have a whole video that I want to do set aside. However, Netflix has bought an abundance of honestly so to terrible shows. I feel as if Netflix releases a new show like every couple weeks to every month of just some random anime that is not very good or average or honestly just completely absurd. And I think we all know what I'm talking about here. Now, Netflix has earned a reputation and a name known as Netflix Jail. Basically, just the name is kind of self-explanatory. Like I previously stated, it's basically where shows get trapped. However, I did not necessarily want to just focus on Netflix today. I want to talk about another streaming service. This streaming service is also known as Amazon Hell. Really, Amazon is not that bad. I just thought it was a really cool name. However, Amazon Prime did not start out that great. It originally had many problems in its beginnings because it was originally called Amazon Strike. Now, Amazon Strike is different from Amazon Prime. You had to pay another fee on top of your already Amazon Prime service. I believe it was an extra $4.99, which is absolutely ridiculous. You're already paying so much to have Amazon Prime. However, after I don't even think it was a year, they basically cut the service and it just became Amazon Prime itself with Amazon Video. Now, Amazon does not have a lot of the problems that Netflix has. The biggest difference that the service has is the fact that they do release their anime during the season that it airs and week to week, which is absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy that they decided to do this. Amazon has some of the most popular anime shows produced in the last couple of years. One such anime is Made in Abyss, which literally blew up. Kind of like Devilman Crybaby. Maybe not to the extent of it, but it still blew up. I remember everyone was talking about this breathtaking anime, which sadly I still need to watch. I know, I'll get to it eventually. But that is not the only thing that Amazon has to offer. They have an amazing collection of the best anime that I've personally ever seen on the streaming service. The biggest and main concern that I have, though, is the reason why I personally call it Amazon Hell. I feel like these series that I love so dear are not as hyped up or not necessarily talked about that often. And the fact that I feel like a lot of people just skip out on them or just don't even realize they're there. I feel like some of these shows are hidden gems or diamonds in the rough, and they can just be found on Amazon Prime. For example, one of the series that is dear to me in my heart is Grand Blue, which is a unique comedy about diving. Yeah, you heard me right, diving. I mean, you can literally make an anime about anything at this point. But this show is not only one of the best comedy shows I've ever seen, but has some of the best animation that I've ever seen in a unique way, which I'll get into in a little sec. The show does not get enough attention, I believe, that it honestly deserves. It is good and it is deserving of a second season, if possible. God, I hope it gets a second season. Seriously, this comedy level is on another level. It feels like the same level as Konosuba, which I also really, really love. The unique thing about this anime is honestly the facial expressions that are used. It's I just laugh at it every time I watch the show. Not only that, it's a show that I can say that I've laughed every single episode to. Then there are series like Vinland Saga and I believe I'm pronouncing this right, Dororo, which deal with a character's humanity. Both shows are gruesome and remind me a bit of Berserk. How the producers are not afraid to show the realism of a harsh society. This is especially true in Vinland Saga. The animators are taking a character who can go from a happy child to a beast, a hell-bent on getting revenge and killing people left and right, blood flying everywhere. And this can be seen in both shows. With Dororo, they're taking a manga that was made a long time ago, a classic, into something modern and reinventing it and making it honestly amazing. A show that I came back week after week for. The last show I would like to talk about is a show that is honestly really, really special to me. I want to talk about Welcome to the Ballroom. A show about ballroom dancing. A show I thought I wouldn't be that interested in because, I like that shonen action and that violence that you can see in Vinland Saga. However, I really, really loved this show. I fell in love with it. I had no interest in ballroom dancing before watching this anime. This show and how they portray the growth of the character is amazing. And Tatara as a main character is easily one of my favorite protagonists, and his mentor is even better. I keep finding myself wanting to watch this anime over and over again. Yeah, I know there's a lot of memes and jokes about this show, especially regarding how long the necks are. And yeah, they are really long, but I think this show just is so amazing, and I eventually really want to do an in-depth review on the show because I can't help myself. It's so good. Please go check this show out. Most of these shows that I mentioned besides maybe Made in Abyss and Dororo, and maybe Vinland Saga, but I still don't think that they get the attention they deserve, are not being talked about. These are shows that people seem to be skipping. If I can leave you with one thing, please go and watch one of these fantastic shows I mentioned today. Trust me, it will be worth it. Especially give some much needed love to some of my favorite shows, such as Grand Blue and Welcome to the Ballroom. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe if you want more content like this. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on anime and everything. Leave a comment about what your favorite anime on Amazon Prime is, if you have one, or a show that you are interested after watching this video. And again, thanks again.